What if Tokyo Ghoul was adapted how it was supposed to from season 1 all the way to the end of the manga? Well, today I'm here to answer that question. If you guys like these type of videos, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more of these ever since that new rumor of Tokyo Ghoul coming out dropped. And yeah, man, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. First question that pops into my head when people ask me how big Tokyo Ghoul would have been today if season 1 was being adapted right is, what the fuck does adapted right even mean? Listen, there's a bunch of reasons for adapted right. Okay, let's say the animation's really good, they follow the story very well, but I feel like the level of adaptation really contributes a lot to the amount of hype and attention you garner as a series. Now, as you guys already know, in season 1, Tokyo Ghoul had already gone viral, and I mean viral. This was one of the biggest anime phenomenons of that year, coming off the phenomenon Attack on Titan last year, and they were going blow for blow at one point. I'm not gonna lie, Attack on Titan was probably more popular, you know, in a cultural standing with more people watching it, you know what I'm saying? But Tokyo Ghoul was right up there around that level. You can't even tell me otherwise, you know what I'm saying? And also, what I feel like is season 1 was a bad adaptation, and it was already getting that much hype. On top of it being a weekly manga, we already know weekly mangas usually get more hype than monthly mangas, because monthly mangas, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta like wait a whole month for a chapter to drop, and the hype just dies down over time. AOT was a phenomenon to that rule though, because everyone was waiting a whole month for those chapters to drop patiently. But yeah, man, like TG was very, very popular by the time it dropped. And I think even with a bad adaptation, that shit was still cooking. Like, that shit was still had a nice big fan base. Why do you think it's still pretty, like, the remnants of its fan base are still alive today? You've seen with that announcement. We've seen how Twitter was blowing up the day One Piece got a remake instead of Tokyo Ghoul, bro. We've seen everyone screaming and crying about that shit. I mean, for a series that first came out 10 years ago, I would not expect that sort of reaction for a remake. You know what I mean? It really shows you how hungry people are for a remake and a correct adaptation for this series in general. I feel like a correct adaptation for Tokyo Ghoul would probably be 24 episodes. I've said this many times, I need season 1 to be 24 episodes. A 12 episode season for 62 chapters just won't cut it. And I feel like for most mainstream anime, they need a season 1 with 24 episodes with great animation and OST just banging. You know what I'm saying? In order to blow up, there's numerous examples of this. There's Demon Surge, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan. Most of these animes are phenomenons of this world. You know what I mean? They're just really big because of that first season. It just gripped everyone in. It grabbed them by the neck. And it's like, you know what? You're staying here for season 2. I need that for Tokyo Ghoul. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the manga's events really have a big like impact on this, because by the time Tokyo season 1 came out, the manga was already finished. Like for part one of TG, the manga was already done. So they had the entire 143 chapters to adapt of the first Tokyo Ghoul, and they could have easily made 2 24 episode seasons out of that. Completely 60 chapters for one, 60 chapters for the other. You know what I mean? Or no, 80 chapters for the other. Like, bro, they could have went crazy with that. While Re was going on in the manga too, which would have garnered so much hype and attention. Just look at how good a manga is when, like, look at how popular a manga can get when it has the manga and the anime going crazy. Look at Jujutsu Kaisen. This summer, Jujutsu Kaisen had some of the biggest shit going on in the manga with Gojo vs Sukuna, and it had its best arc being adapted faithfully in the anime. That shit was literally taking over the internet. I'm not even joking. You could look anywhere and find Jujutsu Kaisen. What I'm saying, I'm not saying the Tokyo Ghoul will be that popular even if it got a great adaptation. I'm just saying that Tokyo Ghoul would be able to sit at that table though. I feel like Tokyo Ghoul will be a huge series, especially if it garners and builds a fan base all the way from 2014 to 2018. And who knows, maybe if the series gets more popular, the anime won't end at 2018 because they're trying to rush it and end it with the manga. It'll probably end somewhere around 2020. The same time Attack on Titan's coming out. So it'll be a peak ride of anime. Like, maybe I can say like 6 seasons of anime, including Re and OG. Maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, like I said before, a majority of it really depends on the quality of the adaptation too. If Tokyo Ghoul got like let's say a Madhouse in its prime, producing a 24 episode season over and over again for the series with great animation and great OSTs, there's no doubt I feel like Tokyo Ghoul would have been as hyped as AOT, maybe even bigger. Okay, maybe even bigger might be a stretch, but bro, it would have been huge. I can already tell. If that trash-ass adaptation was able to give Tokyo Ghoul the clout that it had in the first season, imagine a 24-episode amazingly adapted thriller of a season, back and forth between human and ghoul, and towards the last episode of the season, you get to see Kaneki finally accept that he's a ghoul and that I am a ghoul panel animated in full glory. You cannot tell me that that wouldn't become one of the most iconic moments in anime, at least at that time. That shit would be crazy, bro. And also, another reason why I feel like Tokyo Ghoul would be really, really big is that we already see these dark shows nowadays really blowing up. You know what I'm saying? The darker genre is getting bigger because I feel like a lot of the audience that watched anime has grown up. You know what I mean? Their average age is older than it was before. So I feel like the creators have noticed this, and you know what? Like, we can't be scared to take dark turns in our story. You know what I mean? And Tokyo Ghoul is almost as dark as it gets. We got people being tortured, raped, freaking heads being cut off, people being consumed. Like, it's a dark, dark series. You know what I mean? And I feel like the trend nowadays is just have a dark, dark series. And I feel like by the time Tokyo Ghoul would catch up to the manga and finish, maybe in 2020 something, it would be humongous due to that dark atmosphere and that fan base that was previously there for the manga and anime. Another way I feel like to judge how popular an anime was back in the day was kind of look at the amount of views the music was just garnering, whether it be the openings or the OSTs. Now, you might be looking at me like, bro, that's music. Anyone can listen to music just for music and not for the anime. You're right, but most like viewed OSTs from animes are from very popular shows. Like, let's look at AOT. It has some very nice OSTs for sure. People probably listen to the OSTs just for the OSTs sometimes and not for the show. But some people you could say the same thing for people who are listening to the OST because of the show and not for the OST. You know, like the way that OST made them feel in the show, they want to hear that in their ear when they're walking around and shit. I don't know. There's some weird people out there. But literally, bro, Tokyo Ghoul's OSTs were garnering crazy amounts of views. Like, look at Glassy Sky. These look like views for freaking, like, actual songs. Like, literal, like, actual songs, bro. On My Own, 30 million. Glassy Sky, damn near 70 million. And Unravel, to this day, stacks up to being one of the most streamed anime openings of all time. So, yeah, I do feel like the music has a big part in how well the anime is going to perform and just how big the anime was back then. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the music is a great tell for that. And just look at, like, bro, just look at the cultural impact in the anime community Unravel literally has, bro. Yes, half of it is because the song is good, but the other, like, straight half is because it's literally, like, Tokyo Ghoul nostalgia. Like, that shit is legendary because Tokyo Ghoul nostalgia, bro. That shit's used in plenty of memes still for all the depressed dudes, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally anime culture at this point for Unravel. Like, if you know anime, you should know Unravel, unless you're just, like, retarded. A big question would probably be, how do I think it would perform if it came out today with a reboot, with amazing animation, great pacing, great studio? I think Tokyo Ghoul would still get pretty big in today's day and age, solely because people eat up that monster versus human, like, trope that's kind of used in most of these animes nowadays, where they have, like, either it be sorcerers versus fucking curses, whether it be humans versus titans, whether it be demons versus humans. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they always love that monster, like, fighting trope, and Tokyo Ghoul is legitimately that. Like, it's legitimately that, and I'd argue it does it better than most of the series I just mentioned. You know what I mean? Also, Tokyo Ghoul is just a great blend of a mix. Like, you have a great protagonist, a great side cast, well-written characters, amazing. Like, the fights, listen, the fights aren't the best things, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not the best things ever made, but I feel like the fights adapted correctly could really hold up, you know what I mean? Could really hold up and be some of the best fights. Because, bro, when you look for a fight, you really look for choreography. The manga's choreography is really good. Like, it's underrated. I don't really see anyone talking about the manga's choreography. But yeah, honestly, bro, like, I do feel like if Tokyo Ghoul was adapted today's like dark day and age with this monster fighting trope, I feel like it would have still blown up, but not as much as it would have blown up if it was getting adapted during Re was happening, when Kaneki comes back in the manga, and let's say season 2 of the anime is coming out, where they're adapting the Owl Suppression arc at the same time. That shit would go crazy. That shit would go legitimately insane every single day, bro. That shit would go insane. I don't care what anybody says. that should be rivaling and maybe surpassing some of the manga that were going crazy back then. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, Tokyo Ghoul, even with not a great adaptation, some years would outsell Naruto. Do you guys understand how insane that is? Outselling Naruto itself is a crazy feat. Outselling Naruto while it's about to end is an even crazier feat. You know what I mean? So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul was still big even without a great anime adaptation. Now imagine if it had a great one, bro. I'd say easily over 100 million manga sales, easily being one of the highest rated anime on IMDb and Mal, and easily just going viral, having an insane fan base. Not like it already didn't have that, but it would be even bigger. Another reason why I feel that Tokyo Ghoul would be actually really big as a fully, completely well-adapted anime is that a lot of animes nowadays, people are starting to get into because anime is getting bigger, you know what I mean? So the animes like Death Note, AOT, Demon Slayer, these are animes that are all super like realistic in a sense. Because obviously if someone who's been watching IRL shows and hating on anime for their entire life start watching an anime, they're not going to want to watch that whole like typical anime for the first anime they watch, you know what I'm saying? Which is exactly why a lot of people's first anime is Attack on Titan. A very realistic, not really like anime-esque anime, you know what I mean? It doesn't usually have like the same anime like fan service and shit like that. It's just kind of like an IRL show, but anime. I feel like Tokyo Ghoul does a lot of the same. I don't really see a lot of Tokyo Ghoul fan service. If there is, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like Tokyo Ghoul is also set in a very realistic world with very realistic character writing. And yeah, bro, like that's another reason why I feel like Tokyo Ghoul would be pretty big nowadays, because around the time of quarantine, if the whole series was finished or the final season was coming out, then I feel like a lot of people would have tapped in and watched it, judging by the hype and judging by the amount of people who've already watched it and said it's good, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, if you guys like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the supports on my videos so far, and you know, lately I've been getting bare support. So yeah, keep it all up. Please remember to like, subscribe if you like Tokyo Ghoul content, Blue Lock content, or just anime content in general. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.